Good morning, traders. Welcome to the daily webinar. Since this video will be going to the general public on YouTube, let me remind everybody that these recordings on a daily basis are what I do for my group, right? This is what my group gets every single day in the morning before the London Open. Sometimes it's much earlier, sometimes it's around this time before London Open, right? If you would like to have this, you can join us at any time. Send me a Skype message. If you don't know my Skype, here is the Skype. Let me type it very fast for you. It's type MANGAL 457. Send me a message. You'll get all the details if you want to join our group. That's it. Let's go. The method we use, let me just inform you, the method we use is called wave analysis. It's close to Elliott wave analysis, but it's different because I have added some of my own things to it. I fine-tuned it and we've done it a little different. The patterns we use are not exactly the same as Elliott look at it. The waves we use are not exactly the same as Elliott look at it. We don't have the 5-wave structure the way Elliott look at it. It's a little different on our side. So you will not see me counting waves. You will not see me doing that detailed analysis. I'll just give you my views and the direction I think it's going to go based on the patterns we are looking at. Right? My traders know exactly what I'm talking about because they've completed the course. They understand the patterns. They know everything about the patterns and they know how we trade it. Somebody made a comment yesterday about money management. I'm not saying anything. No, we don't discuss money management in analysis. We discuss money management in trade rooms and in our group. We have money management strategy. I've done a video on money management that I've posted. I can update that by doing it because the last course I did a new money management course based on the experience I had talking to my traders, 400 plus interviews that I did, live interviews, one-on-one, face-to-face, asking them questions. What are their issues? I've created a new money management strategy to fit their needs. Maybe I'll share that free at the end of these 2 weeks. If enough people are interested in it, send me a message. Tell me you're also interested in that. I'll probably post that free for you guys. Right? So this is what we do. What I'm also not giving you are strategies we're using to trade these trades. Not because we expect it to go up or go down means we are in the trade. Certain things, specific strategies on how we're going to enter, how we exit, and how we manage these trades. That is exclusive for the group only. Let's go. Sorry for the long explanation, but there are people who will be watching this and don't know what we do. They wonder what the hell we are. I'm just saying going up, going down, and they don't understand what, right? So let's go. Dollar index. Again, very fast. If you didn't watch yesterday's webinar, you should watch it. It will probably be in this webinar suggested to you. We're expecting dollar index to come and break this low eventually in the daily pattern. On the short-term pattern, it's correcting. Yesterday, we said this could probably be a contracting flat. If we get a buy setup here, we will take it. Well, there wasn't really a buy setup there because we were trying to do some other trades. It's still correcting. And there is a good chance it could either fall if we assume that this correction is complete and this is a contracting flat. If that is not a contracting flat, and you will ask, well, why would you say it could be a contracting flat, not a contracting flat? All contracting flats can become running flats. Not going to go into details of that, which means this can come here, go back up, come down here, go back up, and then fall. Right? If this will become a running flat, that is the pattern we would expect to happen. Now, that means we can sell. We would look for a sell setup today, and we are already getting a flag for a sell setup, which is very good, which means just after this webinar, we're going straight to our trading room, and we will be putting on this sell here. So we will be looking for a sell setup here based on our strategy. That sell setup might be short-lived, or it could be the one that is leading way to the bottom here. We would see and we would make a decision on what it's doing as it goes and where we're going to exit, if we exit it, or how we will manage it as it goes, right? Like this sell setup, that didn't go very far. So you would take some profit out of that trade and exit the trade. This could probably even repeat that, but I don't think it will repeat exactly that, but there's a chance it could come here and go back up, or it's going to fall. So we're looking for a sell. Is there a chance it could go up? Yes, we don't have a buy setup. Based on our analysis, there is no buy setup on it at the moment. Silver, we were looking for the buy. And if you took the buy, if anybody took the buy from my group, they probably closed it, which means we're going to look for the buy again today. And if we have to close it again for break even, which is positive, but without profit, If we have to close it for break even again, which means if it goes here and repeat this process, and then goes there and repeat that process, we will stop buying it and we'll be looking for the sell. We'll look for the sell. Now, I don't think they're going to do that. I wouldn't even be surprised if this actually drops here. We get a running flat, and then it goes. Right? We are anticipating a move like that could happen. Because yesterday, by the way, if you guys remember, yesterday I didn't have the chart that I was using in TradingView, which was Saxo chart, was incorrect because we had this piece only. And this had already happened in the chart, but my chart was not showing it because my chart was something was wrong with the Saxo chart, and it was stuck on the 16th, not the 18th. So because the stock on the 16th, I tell you can go for a sell. And none of my traders correct me because I was in the webinar, so they didn't. And I said, well, look for a sell setup, which worked perfectly because I didn't see this on the chart. It was only when we go in the trading room, then somebody said to me, hey, I think your chart is incorrect because I'm looking at the other chart and it's already gone. That trade is gone. And we realized, oh yeah, it's gone. You can't get the sell anymore. That's gone. It actually was up here. So then we decided we're going to go for the buy. So we're getting a buy setup here today. We would look at the trade, we'll decide how it goes, and then we'll take it still. We'll take the buy, and then we'll see whether we have to exit it and look for sells or whether it's going to continue to go up. Long term, this has a bigger pattern. On the long term, this has a very complex pattern developing here. This didn't break the low, and that means we are anticipating this, even if it goes back up, to come down here. Even if it goes back above this stop, to come back here. There is one situation where it will not come back and it will break this stop. That is if we assume this is a contracting flat. We never make that assumption. We never make the assumption, even if we think it's a contracting flat, we don't do the forecast of a contracting flat. So we will trade this up or down depending on what setups we get for the day. And these are setups for the day. These are not long-term trades. These are trades we will take within the day and close within the day. So if we get a setup for a buy, we'll take it. If we get a setup for a sell, we'll take it. Those are short-term trades. The longer-term forecast is still coming down. Even if you go up, the longer-term forecast is still coming down. Gold, same thing. Gold yesterday was already up. I had the right charts, and I said we're looking for a buy. We're still looking for the buy. We did not get the buy setup, which means we were expecting a move down here first and then go. That didn't happen. So if that happens today, which I think it could happen, we could come here and then we would look for that buy setup. This would be one of those small running flats we're looking for. Question, can this actually drop here? I mean, that's a question most of you want to ask. Can it actually drop there? Possible, rare, but possible. If it's going to drop, first, you will not be tagged on the buy. And second, we would look for the sell setup, but we will not sell it from here. Let it drop. Let it make a flag, and then we would look for the sell. Only then you have a sell setup. And we actually discussed a trade like that yesterday in the trading room on the Pong Yen. And that trade actually triggered for the buy, right? That trade actually turned out after it made the consolidation. If you were in the trading room this morning, that would have been a buy. I think Mohammed was suggesting that it could go up, and I said, okay, let's get the flag, and then we buy it, right? So let's go. Euro, when I come to that, I'll show you. Euro, same thing. Somebody was suggesting that this could break out of this and go back up. I say, yeah, possible. If you get a flag, that's a buy. So if you got a flag, you buy. You're getting another flag here, that could be a buy. Right? We're getting another flag, that would be another buy setup. Is there a chance of this dropping? Could drop. Because we could still go down more on the euro. There is a possibility for a running flat here in the making. We'll look at that. We don't have a sell setup, right? It could go down. We don't have a sell setup, and you just can't sell because you think it is going to go down. You have to have enough reasons to sell, right? So if we get the sell setup, we'll go with the trade. But right now we don't have. What we have right now is a buy setup, which means if this goes up, we take the trade. If it goes down, we wouldn't be in the trade, at least not on this one chart and not now. Pong could be a sell setup we look for. And Pong might be something we would look to sell because I am expecting Pong to come back to this level. Now, if you notice, they consolidate quite a lot here, and they had some consolidation in this one here. So I assume this might make consolidation here before that happens, which means I don't think it's going to fall today. If it does and we get a setup, we'll take the trade. But I'm more inclined to believe that we'll get a consolidation in here because we've got an impulse. Come on, what's wrong to the chart? Let me just escape. Yep. We've got a move up. So I believe this one might be a slow move down, and you might get a consolidation somewhere in here before we get that trade down. But we'll see. If it goes down, we'll likely buy this. I wouldn't be inclined to buy the pound. If we get a buy setup, we'll take it in another trade, maybe the Aussie, not the pound. It's the dollar movement. Then I think it's likely going to happen on the Aussie as well, which we have. So yesterday, and I stressed this quite a lot yesterday, I explained to all the traders. So if you're watching my video and you didn't see yesterday's video, watch it, because I explained why it's going to break the low and then go up, right? This particular one, and I showed you all the Aussie pairs we did in the daily. Breaking the low and going up is an important thing. So we looked at this and we said the only thing we're looking for is a buy. It could go up a little more, but it could go down a little more, but we're looking for the buy. We wanted to break the low. It didn't know, not only did it break the low, it gave you the perfect setup for a buy. So you had a perfect flag there. You have a buy setup. If you're in the trade, wonderful. If not, we look for another buy setup here today. Right? So you have to be in the Asian session to get this trade. If you're not there, we'll look for another buy today. Can it go lower? Yeah, possible. We don't have a sell setup. We're not going to be selling the Aussie, not as yet, as long as we're still in the uptrend line, we're not selling it. We're looking for a buy. New Zealand, short term, we were thinking that it could be a sell for a possible running flat. This could be the running flat. It's a small one there. And if that's the case, then we were expecting buys. We would look for buys here. It didn't give a sell setup. It didn't break. It came down here. We were expecting this to break. This could probably have broken down and give you one more down before they go up. That didn't happen. It's going up. So if we get a buy setup here, we'll take it. Can New Zealand drop lower? I believe so. Aussie, we don't have that structure, but New Zealand already broke out. And there is a good chance that New Zealand can drop lower rather than going up. So what we're going to do is, if this, instead of going up, consolidates here, if we see a consolidation here, we'll go for the sell. So it will do two things right now. Either this 1 hour flag breaks to the upside and it goes back to the top. That is possible. When you get 1 hour flags like this, they do that. So I could see this coming here and then taking off like that. That's a trade we will take if that happens. But what if it comes down and don't take off? What if it just comes here and go back up? Once it comes this low, we're not going to, well, my traders know that we're not going to be buying it anymore, because then it becomes a flat. We're going to expect a correction here, and then we will look for sell setups. Can it just drop? Maybe. We don't have a sell setup. Considering selling under the low, we will consider that when it comes there. All right, so right now we're looking for a buy setup, because I do think this could go back up. The Aussie is a clearer version that they could go up. It's not so clear on the pound will go up, but it has to come a little down first. Euro, we know on the longer term it has to go, but on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, it's not that clear as yet. 1 hour maybe a flag we could buy. And this one is not so clear. It could go, because we're breaking the trend, so it could still go down, but we don't have confirmation of the down move as yet. Right? Now, if they consolidate here, that will give us the confirmation. Swiss, I do think we're going to go up because they're consolidating in here. They didn't break out yesterday. We were looking for the buy yesterday. Once this came down, so we were looking at two things yesterday on the Swiss. One would have been a short-term trade for this coming down if it didn't go back that high. It did go that high, but one of our traders got tagged in this, and I told him, okay, just keep your stop here, wait for it to come back, close for break even. That was in our trading room, which I guess he did. David in the room? No, David not in the room. So which I guess he did. He closed for break even. There's no big deal. You got tagged. You put the entry order in and you got tagged. Right? So that's okay. I know, not the entry order. I think he took another strategy and he got tagged in it, and you can close for break even. Because this was going up. I don't know if I should show that here. Okay, no problem. It was going up really slow. This is going up really slow. So we knew this was going to come back to some distance, and that would give him break even. Close the trade. It's not going anywhere right now. And the likelihood is it could go both down or it could go up. The only place we can buy it is above the top. That would confirm the buy, right? Above the top. We can sell this if it comes down below the low, but it's not going to go anywhere. It's probably going to do this and consolidate. So once it's consolidating there, the drop will be very, very short. So we're not looking for a sell. We're looking for one more up on this. At least one more up, and then we'll see what happens. If the sell is going to come, let it make an impulse to the downside first, and then make a consolidation will sell. CAD is back at the top. I want the breakout or a consolidation now. So CAD, we didn't do anything yesterday because it was just going up, nothing to do there. If it gives you consolidation here, we're looking for buy setups. We're expecting CAD to make a bigger correction. Let me show this in the daily to the general public. They probably didn't see that analysis. So I'm going to show you why we're expecting CAD to do what we want it to do. It has an impulse, a correction, and an impulse. It has an impulse, a correction, and an impulse. We have an impulse. At some point, we're going to have a correction and another impulse back to this level before you get a big move up. So if you look at that in the weekly chart, what you're going to see is this. You're going to see a consolidation that has one leg, 2, 3, and up. Now, rarely they would drop to this level without making this consolidation. We have it here and we have it here. So I am making the assumption that they're going to do it here before they drop. That doesn't mean that it cannot, the third wave cannot drop without that bigger consolidation. It could break this low, and we are anticipating the break of the low because we didn't break the top, the break of the low, and then go back up. If you're watching my videos and you watched yesterday's video, I explained the break of the low and the importance of it because it's based on patterns that we know. I think the same thing we're going to be expecting here. And if you're not sure that those work, the break of the low has any importance, go back and look at the Aussie webinar I did. I'll probably attach the Aussie webinar to this video so you can watch it, because those were daily charts that shows the break of the low before it happened, and it showed that it happened, and it showed that it turned, and it showed that they go. So you would understand the importance of that. Let's go back to the 1 hour. What we were expecting is the start of that consolidation very soon. That's a daily consolidation. The range of that consolidation, if you want to know, is 500 to 700 pips, which means you can trade within that range. It's going to go up and down, but it's going to move within a 500, 700 pips range, so you can make money. You can trade it. If we get a consolidation, and we can go, if it's going to drop again, and they can drop again, they can do this very, much longer than most of you can imagine. We'll look for sell setups. We'll have to have a flag here, and then we'll sell it. If they consolidate here, we'll buy. If you want to know the difference between consolidation and flags, send me a message. I'll tell you how to learn that part. So let's go. Either we get a flag and we sell, or we get a consolidation and we buy. Flags would look like this. We sold these. If you remember, we sold that, we sold this, we sold this, we sold this. So if we get the same thing, we'll sell, we'll sell, we'll sell, we'll sell. Break the low, we stop selling. Broke the low, we stop selling. We're looking for buys. All right, let's go. Yen. We sold the yen yesterday. We're looking for a sell. We sold it. I closed it because it didn't go. I closed mine probably somewhere here, somewhere there, maybe. Not the first 3 hour, I think it was the 4th hour or something like that. I closed it because I was going to sleep and I was not going to keep it. And the second thing is, when they don't go, by rule, we close them. It went up during the night, which is possible. We spoke about that yesterday, that they can still be within this pattern, within the bigger one, within the bigger structure. And it's still possible they can go down one more, right? So if this comes up here, we will still watch it to see if they're coming back to this level and then go. This could be 1, this could be 2, this could be 3. And they go down. It could be a more complex one where this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Go back up, come back down, and then we're totally upside. If this happens, we will all be very, very happy, right? I showed you the big picture in yen yesterday where it is absolutely going to go up. So, and I mean absolutely it will go up. So the question is it going to consolidate here and then go up? Or they're going to drop? Sorry, let me erase that. They're going to consolidate here and then go up? Or they're going to drop below the low and then go up? That's the only question we have. It looks like the consolidation is going to happen here. So how complex is going to be? I'm looking at a pattern, and I think this one is going to come back here, because I'm looking at this as part of the correction for a 1, 2, 3. Go back there, come back here, and then go. We would analyze this internal part, more details in the trading room today, so we can see if there's any other patterns that we are missing that might go right now. But I don't think this is going to go right now. If we get a buy setup, we'll take it. We will take it to at least break this top. Right? So if we get a flag here, we'll take this buy to break the top, put it to break even. If it reverses, that's a break even trade. We will look for a sell setup. If we get a sell setup, we'll sell it. And then we'll look for the buy again. Right? If they consolidate to the top here, it will definitely go out. And we're waiting for this buy setup for a long while. So I don't know if any one of you guys were in the Asian session and you got that. Well, you probably, unless you take the break of this, it would be tough to get a buy here. We'll have to be only the break of that structure to give you a buy. I don't see a buy setup there. So let it go, let it make a setup, and then we'll see. Can it drop from this point again? Can it drop from here to this level and then go back up? Yep, that is possible if we look at this as the pattern. Right? If we look at a 1, 2, 3, that is possible. Go back up there, give you this one, come back here, and then go. So it could get a little more complex, but once it consolidates in this range, and if you follow me for the whole 2 week, we might be able to get that trade, the bigger trade to the upside. Aussie Swiss. We had an entry order here earlier. We took that off. We canceled it in the trading room because it broke the low. And when it breaks the low, you can still buy. This was the buy setup. You could still buy, but you're only going to buy for this wave. Right? We're still looking at this as a 1, 2, 3. So you can buy if you bought that, you're buying for that. So what we look for is a sell setup now, because I think we have a running flat in play. And once it breaks the low, you're expecting a running flat. I believe we have a running flat in play here now. Running flats, this is a big one. This is not a small one, but you can trade it like running flats, put an entry order for a sell here and a stop above here. What would be the target? If we're trading this, we're going to target a deeper pullback. So we're going to target a much deeper pullback, something like this. So you can average a 1-to-1, maybe 2-to-1 risk to reward, maybe lower, but for now we're going to go with that because on the daily we have divergence. So it could go lower. Right? They could go much lower than that if they want, but we're gonna assume that we're making a correction like this. So we're gonna assume a bigger correction here and then go. Let's go back to the 1 hour. We'll look for a sell setup. We might even get the sell setup higher because this is a bigger running flat. It's not a small one. If we get a sell setup much higher somewhere here, we'll go with it. But make sure it's a sell setup. Don't just take it because you're at the top there. So if we get that, in the trading room today, we look for that trade. Aussie yen. Aussie yen give a buy. Nothing new here. You could have actually got this from here because we've got 1, 2, 3. All the Aussie pairs yesterday were buy, right? The Aussie Swiss, the Aussie yen, the Aussie CAD, the Aussie New Zealand. They're all New Zealand. You're not supposed to trade. You can get another buy here if this goes. See this one here? See these here? You're looking for a buy. We can get this trade. It might make another correction here and then go. So there's a trade set up there for a buy. Aussie CAD, we will look for the buy on the break. You're actually getting a setup here for a buy in the break of this structure. So what you can do is you can either take it above the last impulse or take it above the flag if we get a flag there. Either was a good trade. It comes to this stop. You can move your stop, take profit because they can go back down or they can break out, depending on how big this consolidation is going to be. Right? This could either come here and then go back down here, or break out and go. So you have to choice. If it starts to consolidate here, take profit. If it breaks out, stay with it. This is the trade. What if this goes back down? Well, we're not interested in a trade in this. I'm not interested in a sell in that structure. Right? It could go down, but we're not. If this is going to go down, we will sell the Aussie Swiss. Right? If they're going down, we'll sell the Aussie Swiss. If they're going up, we buy the Aussie yen, buy the Aussie CAD. Those are 2 buy setups we have. 2 for the buys, 1 for the sell. Let's see which way they go. Because if this goes down back, the Aussie Swiss will give us a good trade. Come on. Aussie, New Zealand, well, patience. In our trading room, we discussed this, and I told the guys you might not get the trade, but if you take the trade, you have to have patience because this is how it's going to go up. And by patience, I explained the strategy of what you can do. Take the trade and just wait. Euros makes a lot of running flat on the way down. So if we're making another running flat here, we would look for the sell setup. But this piece looks like we might be making a consolidation here. Right, this looks like it could come back here, go back there, and then go. If we see this consolidation, we look for the buy setup. Right? Do we have a sell in it? I'm not sure we want this sell, especially after this big consolidation here. So we'll ignore any sells here. We'll look for the buy. Euro New Zealand, same setup. We're anticipating that this could go back down. So if you want to sell, we can sell this. Not the Oz, the Euro New Zealand. We could sell this if we want, because we're looking at a possible running, expanding flat. And if that's the case, then this sell is a better sell than that one. If it goes up, it will not affect. If it goes up, you buy the Euros. EuroCAD, it's a sell, but probably don't trade it. We have a sell setup, but I don't think we should trade it because it doesn't move very fast. Euro Swiss, same thing. We're coming back up. Let's see the big picture. If they're where they're going. Yep, going back up. So you're probably going to be retesting the top here again. And it's going to be that long, drawn-out B-wave structure before they come back down. So do we have a buy setup here? Probably worth taking. The last one went very fast. So if we get a buy setup here in the 1 hour, there was one already. If we get another buy setup, we can take that trade. Because sometimes they do very fast spike. So it might be worth it. Euro yen. Okay, we're getting the buy setup finally. Finally, we're getting a buy setup. So great. We want it to the upside because there's a big move to the upside. So let's see if we're going to get it. We're getting consolidation here, and that means we can look for a trade setup. It looks like a very small running flat. So we can trade it as a small running flat. Euro pound, we want this to go up, but there is no upside as yet. So probably ignore the sell. At least for now, ignore the sell, because the big picture, we want this thing to go back up once more here. Retest that top and then come down. This is a big correction, but I think it's incomplete. This is not the impulse going down. So that makes it incomplete for the start of the downside. We want this to come here, maybe go back there, and then come down. Then that will make sense. Once it breaks the top again, the fall should be faster like this, not like this. So if we get buy setups, we'll take it. If it's a sell, we'll just ignore it. Until this is finished. Until this is finished and it starts to go back up. Then we will go with the buy. Pause. We're still in the sideways and it's still open whether this is going to come back here and then go. It's a big correction before we drop. The only question we had was whether this is the start of the drop, which is this is an expanding flat, or if we're going to go back up one more, get a much bigger pattern there. Could be even a triangle looking one, but I wouldn't go with a triangle. I would go with a bigger expanding flat, right? With a more complex expanding flat, and see if it goes there. We'll see which of the two it would look like. Could be a triangle, an expanding triangle as well. So let's see. The only thing would change that is if this comes at this level, stop short here, and starts to drop. Then we would assume that this is the start of the downside, and this is just the expanding flat. So we will go with the trade. As it stands right now, you really don't have everything. It's just a short-term buy, maybe a very short-term buy, because this is coming back here, and then you might get a short-term buy to this level. We have a small flat here. We have an impulse, probably go back up like that, and then you downside, or back to the top. So the buy setup might be a good one. We could consider that today as a buy. Once it comes back down, you want it to come down first, right? Complete this one. We want to see this as a flat. And then we start to look for that trade. Pound New Zealand, nothing much happened. Yesterday I told you we were expecting it to come break this top or this top, and then we'd look for the sell. I think they were already there. So if we get sell setups in it, we'll look for it. Maybe it could go a little higher, but if we start to get sell setup, we'll go with it. Pound Swiss, it's going to go up, break the top, and then come back down. I think I showed that as well. Break this top. So there's a buy setup here and then downside. Let's see if we have the buy setup light up. Not ready as it. There was a buy setup here this morning, I think. That's this morning or yesterday. I can't remember. I don't remember we buy it because it wasn't ready while we were in the trading room. But if not, let's see this. If this starts to consolidate, we can look at this as a running flat and then go for that trade up. So if we get a setup here today, we'll take the trade. It looks like we're getting a setup for a trade. Keep this as a buy. Pound yen. Yesterday we were expecting to sell. There's a big down move in this. Let me just remind you why we want to sell it. There's a big down move coming in this one. Like I said, they can still go break the top. They can come back, go break the top, come back, go break the top, come back, go break the top, but they're still going to fall. So the trade we are focused on first is this trade. Then second is this trade, this bigger flat. And then third, there's a bigger trade than that. We're going to stick to these two for now. So come back in here, and it's going back up a little. We're still within this structure, which this could have been the end of it, or they can go make a new high and then come back. So yesterday we were in the trading room and Mohammed suggested, he said, well, it looks like it could go up. And I said, yes, it could, but we can't buy it here. We can't buy it at this point. We have to wait for it to make a flag. And I showed an example here. If this goes up, make a flag, then we get a buy setup. So if any one of you are trading in the Asian session, that was your trade setup. I don't know if anybody was there this morning, and if you took the trade, we'll check that later on with the group after we finish here. But that was your buy setup. And I think I showed this example concrete. You can't buy because, especially if it's looking like a flat, you can't buy into structure. But as soon as you get the flag, that's your confirmation, because now you know where your stop is going to be. Now you know how to check your risk to reward. And now you have exit strategy for break even if it doesn't go. Right? We're getting another flag here. So I assume we're going to break the top. But this is going to be an extended running flat pattern. We will break the top, and then we're still coming down. We've had those patterns before. I think this is a good example. They still come down, right? You go up, you start to consolidate, make a running flat, make a new high. This one was easy. This one make the new high pretty fast, drop. So I think the same thing will happen. We'll probably come one more up. If you buy this, if we have a buy setup here, so if you buy this today, it's one more push to this level, and then there's a good chance we're coming down, because this structure looks very much downside. I don't think right now that looks like an impulse going up, right? That looks more like a move for the downside. You can look at this. Remember this one? Those of you who are following me now will not remember, but if you were following me in 2017, you would remember the AB squeeze and that squeeze where everybody was freaking out when I said it will go up. It keeps coming down. I think we were looking at this piece to go up from here. This thing is going to break out and go. It's going to break out and go. And these are daily charts. So it's on a daily basis. Every day I'm telling them that will break out and go. So starting from this point here, we are anticipating the break and go. Look how many days it took. You can actually go back and make a fast count. Let's say from somewhere here. Nope, I think it's earlier. We were looking at this piece here and we were thinking this is going to break out. So you can count from here to come. Just about 43 days. I'm telling everybody that thing is going to break out. And the trolls were having a time of their life, because for 43 days, this guy keeps saying it's going to go up, and instead of going up, what happens? It keeps going down, right? Well, if you focus on the downside, I don't know how much trade you can get in there and how much you can make, but you will miss this. So for 43 days, you were doubting the analysis because it's not going up, and you missed all of that. You probably will get one or two small trades in there. Most likely, all of them will be break even. Some might even be losses, right? Same thing here. Don't focus on this going up for the next 20 days, maybe. Focus on this. See this one here? You're focused on that. Even this one here, you're focused on this. This one here, you're focused on that. Every time you get patterns like those, you focus on the next big impulse coming. It doesn't mean it's not going to go up some more. It could go up, like I showed you, 43 days. You can actually go back on that date, 2017, go find my webinars on YouTube and watch that one on the pound yen and check the comments. I think I was even on Facebook 2017. Nope, I was already been on Facebook. Not Facebook, I was off TradingView. So you could have checked the comments. They're like, oh, he keeps saying it's going to go up every day, but it's not going. That's the point. Look at the pattern, know what they're going to do, and understand that these smaller trades, we can trade this. We can trade this up here. Don't miss this trade. Don't miss this trade. Those are the trades you don't want to miss. You can get them, but don't miss. You can get the smaller ones, but don't miss them. So take this off. We'll look for it from this point, and then we're going to look downwards. As soon as the top is broken, you start moving out of the trade or moving your stops very tight. Because once they break the top, it's turning point, right? I don't think we will break this top. We can break it for a big running flat, but I don't think we'll break it. If it breaks that top, the only information it's telling us is that we are only going to get the trade to this level. So what if it breaks this top? My traders know that. If we break this top, we're coming back here and then up. That's confirmed. If we don't break the top, then we can go much lower than that. That's the only difference this pattern will make if it breaks the top. So let's see today if we break the top. That happened to us on the Aussie New Zealand when it broke the low, and we knew we were not going to go up fast anymore. We're still in that consolidation, I think, for 5 years or so. So Punkad consolidating, and it probably will stay in this consolidation for a very, very long time. We're still in this consolidation. So there is much more to it because only one confirmed pattern. 1, 2, 3. That's the only confirmed pattern we have. We're still completing the rest of it. I believe this should go up. This looks like it's going to drop first, and then we should go up. Right? Just we're getting this correction here. We're getting this here. So you're getting a correction here and then up. So this would drop. We looked at it yesterday for a sell setup. The risk to reward wasn't great. I don't think it's even good today because I'm just expecting them to drop to about this level and then go back up. We'll look at it again today and see whether it is a good sell setup for us. Maybe it drops further than that. So we'll relook at this trade today for a sell, but the Pound yen is the one we'll keep our eyes on for now. New Zealand yen. It's going back up. So let's see if that is all the correction. If this is all the correction, or if we're going to have more than that. We can go for buy setups here. It's a yen, and if yen is going up, this one looks upside. So if we get a buy setup there, we can go for the trade. If it's a running flat, and it's possible that this here is a running flat, they're going to come back down. We don't have a sell until it breaks here or until we get a flag here. So for now, it's looking like they're making consolidation here for upside. We'll look for the buy setup. New Zealand Swiss, same thing. It's a short-term buy setup. If this becomes a running flat, a sell comes under here. We're not looking for the sell because this is consolidation. It looks most likely it's upside. New Zealand CAD, this is still going down, but it's a corrective structure. I believe eventually this might become a running flat and we can go up. So if we get buy setups, we'll take it. Most of the New Zealands are showing buy setup, by the way. So we'll probably look at the New Zealand dollar that it might take off. There's a flag there to buy on the 1 hour. There's a buy flag. We'll probably put that entry order as soon as we get into the trading room. Put this entry order in the 1 hour for buy. Right? We will, if you want to put that on right now for your side, it's my traders. I'm not making trade calls. I'm telling my traders how we would trade this. Right? So this is not a trade call on YouTube for you to put that trade on. You don't know how we manage the trade. You don't know the strategy we use to put it on. Right? So most of the New Zealanders are showing upside, which means you might get that one more spike there. Swiss, New Zealand CAD, same thing. And CAD yen. CAD yen also, we are expecting big downside. Very similar structure. It's going up once more. See, they just come, they go up, come down, go up. They could break the top again once more. If this is a running flat, we will go a little higher. But I don't see, they have to break that structure before we negate any big flat pattern here. For now, it's still downside. So in the 1 hour, you have buy setups. For one, here you have some buy setups to break this top. Because when they break the tops, they come back down, right? So when they break that top, the chances are they could come back down. It's a short-term trade, very good trade. There was a buy here from a bit lower, but not possible. You couldn't get into that. CAD Swiss, probably stay out of this. It's not going anywhere. Just stay out of that. Swiss yen, we don't trade that very much. The Swiss yen upside. Most of the yen pairs are looking upside, so not all of them. Some might be short term. So you're getting a buy setup here for upside. Let's see, we have a flag there in the 1 hour. We're getting a 1 hour flag, so that's a buy setup, at least back to the top. It might consolidate more. I don't think they're going to break out now. I could see this consolidating a lot more and then go. That will be a better trade. Copper upside, you're getting a buy setup here. So if this breakout, we can look for that trade. US oil. Okay, so we have again this happening, which is a consolidation, and you're getting this consolidation here. Right? If this drops, it might not go very far, but we will still take the trade. What if this is the start of the drop? And or we can end up with a running flat here. Let me just draw the running flat. Drop here, go back there, and then go down. We could be looking at a possible running flat like that in the making because we're getting a consolidation here. I don't know if you guys want to give the sell a possibility or the buy, because the buy does look very much more promising. Come on. I don't see why we have so much consolidation at the bottom here. If it breaks there, sell it. It might be short term, but go for it. Because we have a sharp wave back up here, right? We have a sharp one. So if this continues, they'll probably drop, pull back here, and then go. If we get something like this, then the buy is perfect. The buy becomes perfect. So this is a short-term trade. Why not take it and see how far it goes? You can always get out for positive, right? If it doesn't go far, you can get out for positive. Same would be here, right? This one is even a much better structure for the sell. Structurally, this one is better for the sell because we don't have such a sharp wave back to the top. We have one here, but it's not way back to the top. So this sell is a better trade. Natural gas, still coming down. No trades. We can't trade anything here. Let it break the low. You don't have setups for sells. We can only go for buy setups, which means you can put an entry order here if they break out. If they're going down, ignore the sell. Look for buy setups here. Oops, sorry. But it will be short term. I think yesterday I explained that there's a short term buy setup. It's going up, so you can still probably go break the top again. They'll just go up and break the top once more. Same here from yesterday. You can actually buy earlier if you get the setup for buy. And same here, right? They're all still going up some more. Very short-term trades because it's not moving far. So you'll have to know how much it moves per day if you're going to trade it, from where you're going to enter, what's the strategy, and where to exit. You don't want to keep it for long term because this will fall, right? We still believe this might be the B wave part of the bigger flat we have. DAX also going up. So you can get another short-term buy here because once they break the top, they don't move that far, right? You can see this. It's not moving very far. Even if you exclude this one, or even if you put this one, it just goes up, correction, pull back, go up, probably pull back again from there. So it's very short term, the upside. This one has a buy too, and this would be short term as well. But this is mostly the correction here. So could make a high there, could still come back. We could still be in this channel here. If it starts a channel like that, it's just going to break this top, maybe break this top, and then come back down. It's not going to move very far, but it's a buy setup. 1 second, let me just move this. Nifty, deep pullback, still going up, buy. You can see this deep pullback they had, you're going to get a series of those, and you're going to get a series of running flats. So look for buy setups. Take profit because they'll pull back. Tesla, you're getting a buy setup. You're getting a correction here now, right? You get this, you get that, and you go. Sorry. You're getting a correction here for buy, which means more upside. Amazon should go down. Yes, it's still going down. It's pretty much stuck here. I'm not sure if I have the right chart. Is this the right chart? The date is correct. Let's see. January 21. Something is wrong. January 15th, sorry. This might not be the correct chart. I'm not sure if it's stock or not because I don't have these charts. I use them. 15th of January. Today was already 19th. So the chart is incorrect. Some of these charts don't work correct on TradingView. I don't know why. Maybe because I have to pay for it or what. But it's not moving. So we'll just leave this. But the bigger, if you have a chart that already happened, what we were expecting is this to come here and then go back up. Somewhere there, right? So look at that. SLR. Okay, it's going back up. Wait for consolidation. If they consolidate here, sell. It's going to move very slow because we're coming down to the level of here, and then they probably consolidate, drop. If it's in the downtrend already, looks like it's already started the downtrend in the bigger picture. Right, we already broke out. So not just consolidation, but moving down bigger. This also didn't move. I don't know whether these charts are still working for me. Is this date correct? What date is this? Let's see what date this is. 19. This one is working. Today's the 19th. So this is working. Expect some more up here and then down. So if you get buy setups, you can take it. But it's not moving. The chart is not going. Not the 4 hour or the 1 hour. It's not going anywhere. But if you get buy setups, take it because they can spike sharp and then come back down to complete the flat pattern. This one is going up. So let's see where we are. More upside, you can buy. We were looking for this flat to be a running flat. It turned out it's an expanding flat. So if you get a setup there, buy. It's just an expanding flat or a more complex correction in the making. Reliance, let's say this is the, yeah, it's going up, but it's only going to go to this level, right? Remember, we want this big flat here. So you get this, you get this, you get this, come back here, it can drop. So you have a trade more to the upside there. There was a trade buy here. If anybody bought that, if you saw it, you should have bought. I think we said this is going to go up to the top there, come back here, and then downside. It's downside, it's just correcting. Bitcoin's still correcting. So Bitcoin might be stuck here for a while in a deeper correction. There's a short-term here drop for this one to finish and probably go back up. I think we're just going to make a deeper complex correction, then go up. I don't see them taking off just like that. XRP. Okay, we're still going down. So you can look for a sell setup here if you want to sell it. I think somebody also made a comment and said they're not sure whether XRP and ETH will go down lower than that. I have learned, I've learned to believe things, even things that I don't think can happen, will happen, right? So I don't see this as impossible to drop to 10 cents. I think it's 10 cents. I don't see that impossible. I don't even see it impossible to drop to 5 cents. The maximum price that has ever been is, I think, was, I think there was a bigger price than that. Let me see the maximum price. There was a bigger price here on the daily. $3. Yep, the maximum price that ever has been is $3 for a very short time. It has been here most of the time. I don't see problem of that dropping a little. Like I said, only if it drops there. I don't trade cryptocurrencies. But if this drops to 10 cents, I would probably get interested. I would get interested because of the risk to reward that I can get, not because I like cryptocurrencies or because I think I should trade them. I would put a sum of money that I can afford to lose totally, that I could afford. Well, I might never get that back, but I would not just buy it. I'll wait for a setup on a 1 hour and then take the trade. Then I'll buy it. The question is whether you're going to get to buy somebody else. I don't know how it works. I would be honest about it. I don't know how it works, but I'm hoping I'll get to buy. When it's 10 cents, a lot of people will want to sell because they'll get scared it's going to go to zero. So we can buy at 10 cents and then from 10 cents, if it does go above this, which is what I'm expecting it to do, once it breaks the low and it goes back there, we could get a very fast movement up back to the top. I'll be pretty okay with that. Now, I'm not telling anybody to go do that. I'm not making a trade call. I'm not saying you should go sell your house and buy this, right? and hope to make that much money so you can buy 30 houses afterwards, right? I'm not saying you should do that. I'm saying if there's a small sum of money you think you can afford to lose, that will not affect your life that you're living right now. It will not change your lifestyle. It will have nothing to do with how you're living. Might be worth giving it a try. Right? I don't know, if you put $1,000, you get $30,000, that'd be okay. I think, you can't get too greedy, that would be okay. But if you lose the $1,000, well, you wouldn't be worried about it. So you have to find a sum you are not worried about and give it a try. Okay? So remember, Bitcoin was once at $100 and people were like, oh, well, it's, those who tried got lucky. Those who didn't get lucky, right? So this one I think can go. I'm not sure about it, and I'm not really worried about whether it go or not. We'll see. ETH going up on the daily. Let's go back to the 1 hour. Yep. So it's probably a running flat from here. We either have a running flat here already, I'm not sure. And this is just going up slowly, or it's still making a running flat. So now that we broke the top, if you get any flag buy, we'd assume that we have the running flat already and this is going. Right? We can assume that. We can also put this running flat in play, which means this is making one of its own here. If you get a sell set up, it's absolutely, you should take it because the running flat to go. On the buy, consider it's not going up very aggressive. So, it's not aggressively going up. It's going up very slow. So if you buy it, you can just take off the profit and wait. On the big picture, let's put it in the weekly so you can see that. On the big picture, we're in this at the top. I think there's more chart to this. I just don't have it. I don't know. We're at the top. And you notice every time they break these tops, they tend to go back down. Can this be the next one that stretches to like Bitcoin? It possibly could, but the consolidation here was a bit short. If you buy, just put it to break even and wait. Right? If you want to buy in this one, but if they drop and they start to go back up, the buy will be better. If the bigger running flat plays out, that would be better. Right? But if you buy here, put the break even. I wouldn't buy here now. I'll wait for it to pull back. I'll wait for this to come back here. And then look for a buy. If I was trading this. Right? So it doesn't make sense. Let's see what LTC does. Go to the 4 hour. And this one is definitely showing you downside. Because we've got a sharp impulse here. We don't have anything to match the sharp impulse. Can it be that it's a big expanding flat? Again, we have the same structure of the possibility of this smaller pattern. I don't think it's this one. This is not. If you get flags here, take the trade, take it as a short-term one. If they start to drop, you can sell because they're coming to break this low. Now, how high would it go before that happens? Let's say in the 1 hour. Short-term trade, so you can take it. If you take this, it's already there. And it's not, you probably get break even. It's not going anywhere. So look for the sell setup. The sell setup will give you an impulse that will drop like this. So let's go. I think that's about it. I've completed everything. We did it faster today, at least within an hour. I made the webinar. Again, reminder to those of you who will be watching this, if you manage to watch it all the way to the end, that is if you trade Bitcoin, it's 2 weeks free, so you can continue to watch. Please help share it as well, and my traders share it. So the more people see it, the better it is. And maybe they would like what we do. Maybe they will help themselves correct some things they're making mistakes with. Maybe it's going to help somebody. So please help share it. Thank you. I will see all of you in the trading room. We will close the recording. We'll close the live session, and we're in the trading room. All right. So if you're watching the live session and you're not in the trading room, join us in the trading room. I think we have a lot of people in the live session. So if you're there and you're not in the trading room, please join us. Let me see. I have to open the live session and check it. Okay, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.